Game 2 of the NBA Finals just wrapped up, and man, this is one for the books. Let's talk about it. So Game 2 started like every other game, where the Spurs come out on a 12-point, 14-point run, and the Knicks have to dig their way out of it. And boy, did they. First, I want to talk about the Spurs for real. Or actually, let's talk about some stuff. So like the refs are letting these teams play out, and I'm not mad at it. I'm here for it. It's been very physical basketball, and we love to see it. The only downside is that sometimes they let it be a little too physical, and they just don't call things that are blatant fouls. Like there was one on OG Anunoby that like Champagnie hit him straight in the arm, and they weren't gonna call it, and they called it out of bounds. And then Mike Brown had to call for a challenge, and then they reviewed it, and it's clear as day that he hit him on the arm. And then they also called a tech on Mitchell Robinson. We'll talk about that in a second too. But like overall, very physical series. I'm here for it. The Spurs, thank you, De'Aaron Fox, finally showed up in the playoffs. De'Aaron Fox scored 20 points, finally showing up, by the way. 20 points, 3 rebounds, and 5 assists. He had 12 points at the half. Couldn't ask for more as your second option. Been waiting on it. Thank you for showing up. Wemby played better than the first game. He had 29 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, and 4 blocks, with a clutch block that came down in the fourth. I'm gonna be honest. After he blocked it, I thought the game was a wrap. And his shot blocking presence was felt throughout the game, because there was players that were shooting like mid-range jumpers that are really good mid-range jumpers, as in Jalen Brunson, and some of his shots were extremely short because of Wemby guarding him, and like how outstretched Wemby's arms are and how long he is, that like they were like barely going in or like barely hitting the rim. It was kind of crazy. But he came up with a clutch block down the stretch, and what he did with that doesn't really matter. It was a mid-range jumper that I was telling you before. If Wemby had more playoff experience or experience in general with like high leverage games like this, I feel like he wouldn't have turned the ball over by throwing it to Stephon Castle's back. If Wemby had more experience, he would have held the ball, and he would have like dribbled the ball up the court, especially with 9 seconds left. You could have sat in the back court for 8 seconds, got a turnover. Take this game, take the experiences, roll it over to the next game, do better. You can't ask for more. The Spurs, for the most part, played pretty well. The only thing I don't like, or that I took away from this game from them, was that they didn't run any plays for Champagnie. Champagnie only took 6 shots, and he only had 8. He finished with 8 points. Like, that's not coming off of the playoff run from the last series that he had. Champagnie should be taking more shots. They should run more actions for him. He's like their 3-point shooting guy. So I feel like them not seeing that he wasn't getting looks, that's like a Miss Johnson. That's a missed part on you. Overall though, like they played pretty okay. Can't be mad at the box score, and it was a pretty physical game. They played really good defense overall, and they're really good at going on. The Spurs overall are also really good at going on runs, scoring runs. The problem is, I think this also goes to the lack of experience. Having the lack of experience, you can go on a good scoring run, but you can't keep it. The Spurs couldn't keep up the score, so they turned the score over, so they ended up losing the score. If that makes sense. And then once they lost the advantage of the scoring, they couldn't get it back into the fourth. And by that time, it's like do or die. And like you got a lot more pressure on you. Real quick, before we go into the Knicks, let me know what y'all think about this playoff series. Is it everything you wish for? Let me know your thoughts on how each team is playing and who needs to step up and who needs to do better. The Knicks took the Spurs scoring runs really well. They were getting hit in the mouth with them multiple times throughout the game. And like they chipped away at it, and by the second quarter, they ended up taking the lead going into half, and they didn't give up the lead until later on in the fourth. So like they were taking, and the Spurs went on a couple, like there was one point it was like 14-1 scoring run, and like they were still in the lead. So like they took it in stride, and they kept the lead pretty well. Cat showing like I am a star as well. Cat had 17 points at the half. He finished the game with 21 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists, shot 8 for 12 from the field, 3 for 5 from 3. You can't ask for any more. The only reason he doesn't have more points is because in the third quarter he had 4 fouls, and so he didn't play most of the third. And he was giving Wemby problems. So I think he would have easily ended with 30 points easily if he would have stayed in the game. And again, this goes back to the physicality point. Some of the fouls are silly, but you can't do nothing about it. You got to save those the challenge for something maybe later down the line, especially with them playing so physical. That it was a good call to save it. But some of the fouls are silly. Not on his part, but on the refs. The refs are calling some whack fouls. Comes with the territory. It is what it is. Refs will do better next game, and I think it won't be like that next game. But because he was in foul trouble, Mitchell Robinson had to play a lot more minutes than he did last game, and he actually played really good minutes for the catless. The time that Cat was on the floor, he played really good minutes. He didn't score He didn't grab a bunch of rebounds. He blocked the shot, but he was physically there. There was one point he was pushing Wemby, and Wemby got so tight it took this man's entire being to just push him back. And he got a foul. He got a tech for it. Mitchell Robinson got a tech for it. I don't understand why, because it's playoffs. Wemby's trying to battle for post position. I don't understand why he got a tech for pushing Wemby, not letting him just do whatever he wants. I think that was also a weak foul, or a weak tech. But again, you can't ask nothing more from Mitchell Robinson coming off that broken pinky. He was being an enforcer. He was not everywhere, but he was showing his presence. He was contesting shots, trying to block shots, showing his presence. I'm here and I will send you to the second row if you bring it down here. And then of course Brunson. I'm gonna be honest, Brunson is not shooting the best. These guards from the Spurs are giving him problems, but not in the way that you would expect. I'm gonna be honest, he's missing shots that he should be making. I don't know if he's tired because so many bodies are being thrown at him, but there's shots that he's shooting that he should be making, and he's just not. They're not falling. But Brunson scored 20 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, and then he came up clutch with that steal at the end, and he went 1 for 2 for the free throws again. He probably should have made both of them, but 1 for 2, put him in the lead. You can't ask for more. I also want to talk about Mikal Bridges. Hey man, this is why you give up everything they gave up. 17,000 picks, 45 players, and $4 million. He had 20 points, a quiet 20 points tonight with 6 rebounds and 6 assists. 8 for 13, and he went 4 for 6 from the 3. Man, you cannot ask for a better game from him or OG. OG had 17, 4 and 3, shooting 5 for 10, 2 for 5 from the 3. But listen, Mikal Bridges, this is why you did that. This is why you did that trade. Is to get a player that can put you over the top, can defend at all 4 levels. This is why he quiet 20. I didn't even realize he had 20 till I looked at the stats and I was like, dang, when did he get 20? But yeah, you can't ask for more. And as far as the overall game, I think both teams, this is a great series, and I'm gonna be honest, I still think that the Knicks win in 6. I think they win it within 6. I don't know if they sweep them. Everybody's saying this week. I think the Spurs can get 1 in Madison Square Garden. I think they can get 1. So maybe Knicks in 5, but I still think the Knicks come out on top of this. If they sweep them, I'm not gonna lie, I will be thoroughly surprised. But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Who do y'all think will win? Do you think the Spurs will come back from being down 0-2? Or do you think that the Knicks will sweep them? Let me know. And if you have anything else, let me know. And yeah, until next time, I'll see you later.